Alright, so what we have here is the W1848 13-inch oscillating floor drill press from Shopfox. D2677 drum sander set. This is a oscillating drill press. A dust port. This looks like the base plate. Instruction manual. All the tools. Desiccant packs. A beautiful chunk of styrofoam. The main pole. See-through dust cover. I'm not really sure the name of that. These are the hardware for raising and lowering the head, and looks like that one's probably for the base right here, the drill base. This is the unit right here. Shopfox logo on it. So let's get it out. Table bracket. The table itself. This is the pinion gear. So there's the chuck you get with it. And of course your key. I guess have discretion on how tight you tighten these. I didn't tighten that very far past tight, and it already stripped out that one right there. So we'll need to get a nut for that, assuming that it protrudes through the bottom far enough to even put a nut on. That didn't. Yeah, I guess we could. So we'll have to find one, and we'll be back in a bit. It looks like the base plate's just threaded, and I can already see right here I barely went over tight on that, and it just blew the threads right out. So it probably should have nuts on there anyways. $10mm by 1.5 coarse hex nuts. Interesting. The pinion goes inside, shaft down, flat side up. That mates with the handle, and the set screw of the handle. We tighten that up with this little Allen key, comes with it. And now we're moving on to, go. All right. There we go. But rack sits right there under the base. This little lip, the base of the column, goes all the way up, meets with a pinion that's attached to this right here. That's the pinion inside there. So there's a bevel right here, and that's gonna mate with the beveled end of the rack. It kind of moves freely. All right, so our next step is to get this base in here and tighten it down. All right, she's tight. Right about there. That's pretty good. We're gonna have to shim it. White lithium W40. Oh, okay. She's heavy. I think that's good. That looks pretty good. We're gonna go with that. Why don't you just tell people to do it correctly the right way? Like, I'm pretty sure I gotta take this thing off now. And this is in the way. How? It's gonna break if I try to pry it around there. I don't know why they would tell you to do that. Okay, Shopfox. You need to change, or at least read the directions. I mean, if you read your own directions and made one of these, you'd know that this is wrong. You got your things out of order here. Put this on first. There we go. Yeah, I think this goes to the actual, the cover. I think so, maybe? Come out a little bit. There we go. There we go. Now it shuts, okay. So we have some parts left over. I'm not really sure what they're for. I think they're for the oscillating sander. There's like a shaft here, spindle thing. Pretty sure that's for the sander. And some washers, big honking washers. I think these are probably for holding the, they probably hold the sanding cylinders onto the shaft. I'm not sure. We also have some of these left. Yeah, so I have no idea where this one goes. It might be just an extra. There's no place for it on here. That right there was the motor tensioning lock. I did notice that we do have 4 washers left over. I'm assuming that they were probably supposed to go on the nuts that attach to the base down there. But they don't call that on the instructions, so maybe you shouldn't be reading the instructions. I'm talking to you, Ted, down in shipping. I know it was like a Thursday or Friday or whatever. Maybe it was a Monday. I don't know. Unnecessary. It works at least. The one thing it doesn't have, and I think it really needs, is a light. I don't know why there's not a light right there. I mean, I think I spent close to 600 on this thing, and there's no, there should be a light that turns on and points right down at the work. At least that's the one that, you know, I was used to. It was an old Craftsman, and it had a light. It had two switches. It had a power switch and a light switch. So maybe I'll mod this box, put in another switch, put a light right here pointing down. One thing I don't really like about this press is that it doesn't slide on the bottom very well. It gets kind of, you try to move this, and the top moves free. The bottom kind of sticks. And even though I put some lubrication in there, it's not really, it's almost like it needs to, I should probably bolt this to the floor, but I don't know where the final position is going to be. So it moves a little bit, but it gets caught right. Kind of snaps into place. I think it's getting there. This might happen to you if you buy this thing, so keep that in mind. You might have to work it. And it might just be that paint that's catching. Seems to be moving now. You can see that's paint chips for sure. So I'll get back to the press in a second, but this is something I've been meaning to get into for a while. I got sent a package by Drill America, I think is the name of the company. They sent me an email months ago asking if I wanted to test out some of the drill bits. So I said, sure, send them over, and they sent me this package. I haven't gotten into it yet. Let's see if they have where we hope these bits and convenient case join you on many future projects. And these are going to come in handy for the drill press. It just so happens that we can actually use these things now, and I kind of been waiting till I actually did have the ability to use these. Oh, look at that. That is super bright. Extra large Drill America t-shirt. And there we are. It looks like a Drill America bit cooler, drill bit carrying case. Drill bit information. 29 piece jobber length drill bit set, 1/16 through 1/2 by 1/64 increments. Top screws off like that, and then there's all your bits. I've never had a real legit drill bit set before besides the cheap store-bought crap. So this is pretty cool. And so we'll try some out. So usually when I take apart a pallet, I will blast the nail out with an air punch, and it leaves holes in the wood just like that. And sometimes the pallets have been rebuilt many times over, so there's already existing holes. Now it's good to get the nail out, but if you don't clear out that hole, the nails that they use in these will leave behind a little piece of banding. And those nails are banded together with a strip of metal. And when the gun shoots it in, the nail pulls in a little strip of that metal with it. And when you take the nail out of the board, it leaves that strip of metal behind. And you can tell it's in there if you use a metal detector. Now, you might not have to take that out of there for every project, but for any project that you're gonna do where you need to run your boards through a planer or a jointer, you absolutely need to get that out of there, because that will nick your blade. Even the slightest pass will nick your blade and leave a line in your planer or your jointer from that point on. So you can either do one of two things. You can either cut the board off right here and omit that completely. Anywhere there's a hole, you can just cut off this whole section and throw it away if you want. I don't prefer to do that because you lose a lot of the length in your board. What I prefer to do is to drill out the hole, and that drills out the metal. Let's just go with your standard 1/4 inch bit. The machine is very quiet. the guard down. Oh, super smooth. That was nice. It cut through that. It drilled through that like it wasn't even there. It completely ignored it. These holes are pretty big already, so let's just try drilling straight through the wood. Oh, it's like the wood isn't even there. Super fast, clean. I would highly recommend these bits. There's no resistance. It's like it's cutting through paper. Beautiful. Let's try a bigger bit. Let's go with the, let's go with the biggest size and see what happens. So we're gonna go with a 1/2 inch bit here. Effortless. It's just like, it's hard to describe. It's cutting through it like it's just paper. It's just, let's go right through the knot and see what happens. Same. Totally effortless. Extremely sharp. I'm putting hardly any effort into this whatsoever. Nice and slow, go fast. You go too fast, it'll lift the board up a little bit. It's trying to climb. Just absolute sharp as a laser. So I also went down to the Blue Box store today and picked up this. It was a drill press vise from Irwin. I need this because I'm finishing up a job for a friend and I need to grip something, but I need to get some soft jaws for it. It's a small piece of wood. It's a shifter knob. So let's try to get this installed. I think I have some bolts around here somewhere. So this is a shifter knob that I lathed out from a oak mantle that I got at a Habitat for Humanity restore locally. Huge piece of oak, and I cut a piece off and turned it down on the lathe. We're gonna put a hole in the bottom of this, and then we're gonna put in a stack of threaded inserts. 10M-1.25 by the 9/16 is the outer thread on this. So then we're gonna stack 2 of these because we couldn't find one that was deep enough. His shaft is actually 3/4 of an inch. So that should give us plenty without blowing out through the other side of the knob. Just slightly undersized. All right, so I think the plan is going to be to wrap the shifter knob in just an old rubber glove I use for staining, painting, so that we don't mar it up with this little vise. You can get soft jaw inserts, and they're like, you know, I don't know what type of plastic they're made of, so they might be rubber, but they're magnetized. I'm gonna order a set of those so that you can just snap them in and not mar it or damage it. This surface is very greasy too, so keep that in mind if you're gonna put wood in there. All right, that looks pretty center, so we're just gonna go with that. Go nice and slow.
High five. Yeah.
So, thanks again to Drill America for sending that. That's awesome. Definitely going to use these. They're going to probably just live right next to this this press, and this is going to become the permanent set for at least the time being. All right, quick video from future me. That video was, all the footage you just saw was from about a year ago. It takes me a long time to get these videos filmed. I've been using this drill press off and on since I filmed most of that footage, and want to give you my final thoughts on it. Shopfox model W1848 floor model oscillating drill press. And my final thoughts on it: what works, works. What doesn't really matter, doesn't really matter. Flimsy flambly bits there, but all the rest of the stuff that's supposed to function and make holes works correctly. For the price I paid, I don't think you're gonna get a floor standing drill press for much less than this. So I think it's a great deal. The parts that matter are strong. The parts that don't matter really don't matter. So I don't know if you guys like this kind of content. Let me know in the comments, because I don't really, know where to not take this channel. I want to do a lot of different content. If you like me talking in these videos, leave a comment below. If you want to see something different, let me know. You can click any of the various little things down there. Will definitely help me in any which way. If you don't like this video, click dislike. If you like it, nail gun the like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell with your ringers. Anything you do to interact with me helps me in the long run. That's going to be it for this video. And see you soon.